What is up, Wretched Nation? Today we are back with another 5 things video, but this one's going to be dyna edition. Unfortunately, we're in the garage, it's raining outside, the weather is crap. But that's alright, we're going to get through it and come up with 5 things that you can get your dyna bro, dyna girl, whatever, for Christmas. This will kind of cross over to any smaller bikes like Sportster, Softail, any of those, but we're doing this for $50 instead of $100 like we did on the Road Glide. If you want to check that out, we have a video up top, or the little link to the video up top. We did $100 for the baggers, but we're going to do $50 for the smaller bikes. So let's get to it. Number 5. Number 5, I'm going to show you right here where they would go, and then I'll show you on the other bike. I'm kind of confined with space, but stickers. I know it sounds stupid, but swing arm stickers are definitely a thing. This is your little spot right here. Most companies, you can pick some up for $5 or $7. You can get sticker packs for around 10 or 15, but they're a nice little thing to throw in the stocking. You got space on the belt guard, swing arm, all those different places, and I'll show you on the other bike. So you got a nice spot here. It's our Wretched sticker. And then of course, it's a dyna thing. These little stickers are cheap and inexpensive, but it's a nice thing just to throw in a stocking or whatever. People enjoy it, and it's really inexpensive, so it's a good thing to pick up. Number 4. All right, number 4 is gloves. Gloves and pretty much any little apparel, but gloves are always nice. A lot of people do wear gloves when they ride, even if it's not cold. If it is cold, it's probably going to put you out of your budget, and that person probably needs to pick out those gloves. But a nice, just regular glove is good. Even in the summer months, I am still rocking gloves on these grips. It does help a little bit with hand fatigue, and I've grown to use gloves all the time. But people love gloves. They're typically around the $30 mark. So definitely under that $50 budget. We have these on our site. Check that out down in the description. But you don't have to stop there. You can get a bunch of other things, t-shirt, hat, all those little things that, you know, people love. It's always good for a nice snapback, because if they rock a full face, they can clip it to their belt. Long sleeves are always good, because even in the little bit warmer months, you can rock those and get away with no sunburn, or have it later for when it chills off at night a little bit. But gloves, accessories, a little bit of clothing, that's always a great item, especially for these smaller bikes. People are still going to rock clothing, still going to want gloves, still going to want long sleeves. And if you're a dyna bro, you're rocking gloves. Number 3. All right, number 3 can be kind of like 2 things, but they do the same function. First, little black box. For the most part, you're still going to be listening to music, maybe even using your phone for GPS. I don't know. Even if you don't have a stereo, you might have headphones, or if you've got like a full face with a Sena unit, you might be Bluetoothing to that, or they even have Bluetooth speakers for the smaller bikes. So a way to charge your phone is definitely a great gift. The charge boxes are great. I've gone on trips and only taken a charge box and not even taken an actual charger. They charge up in the wall, and typically if you get a nicer one, they'll charge a phone 2-3 times before they die. And you can definitely get a very high quality charge box for under $50. You can go with the cheaper ones. I would suggest, if you go with a cheap box, you can also pick up the second thing, and I'll show you that. I don't have one, but I do believe they make ones that you can hook up into like the battery tender cord and switch that over to USB. And if they don't, or you can't find one, this USB, this triple charger cord, all it does is just hook up to the positive and negative of the battery, and you can just buy a USB that hooks up to the negative and positive of the battery. It's a little cord. I bet you can get it for $20 or less. It's not something I've really ever looked up, because I just use the charge boxes, but it's definitely a cheaper option to go or if you can get them a cheap box and one of these, so they'll be covered both ways. That's a great gift for somebody that doesn't have a bagger and doesn't have storage and is very minimal on what they're doing. It's just perfect. Number 2. We don't have one on this bike, but we have one on the other bike that's out of the way. But as you can see, there is no storage on this bike at all. When I did buy it, it had one of those leather bags up here, and you can definitely get those, but to be honest, they're out of style. If the person has apes or some type of super short bar, probably anything shorter than this, you can maybe get away with these, but they're mostly made for T-bars. But if they're anything less than this, you can get a little bag that goes up here, pretty cheap. But you can also, especially if they're a full-on dyna bro and they've got T-bars or big mounts, you can get them a bar bag. And I'll show you on the other bike, but bar bags are a great gift for people with baggers, and you can get a bunch of different sizes, bunch of different ranges for right under $50. This is our bar bag. You can get it from the link in the description, but it's big enough to fit a full-size pistol if you wanted to. You don't have to, but that's just the best. This is the best way to describe it without actually seeing it. A lot of them will come a little bit shorter, but maybe a little longer. Like I said, there's a bunch of different configurations, but you get a lot of space in here. You can fit a full size, a regular full size 3/4 ratchet, and definitely get some tools in there. But you can get a full size drink, and the top will be like right here. You can fit a lot of stuff in these bags, but perfectly, like I said, if you had your charge box, that can go in there, the phone can go in there, a pair of gloves can go in there. Honestly, I have actually wrapped up a windbreaker coat, and I have fit it in this bag. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. Bar bags are amazing things. Like I said, you do need a little bit of a narrow bar with a little bit of height, so you can get that bag on there. But you'll be surprised what somebody can do with just a little bit of storage. So if you can get them that, that's a perfect gift. Number 1. Now this I wasn't sure what to include, whether it be before the bar bag or after, but we're going to put it in the number 1 slot. If you are rocking a Harley, especially if it's an older dyna, a small little toolkit might not be a bad idea. So it doesn't really matter what you get them. It'd be better if they've got a little bit of a bag, but let's just walk through the essentials real quick and show you what you need. All right, here's what you need, and I kind of put it on the seat just to show you how little you really need. But let's get into it. If they're rocking a Harley, especially, Allens are something you're gonna have to need. You can get them with one of those little flip packs. It doesn't have to be this big. This is just something I have here. Kudos if you can get Torx as well. If you can get those little flip packs of Allens and Torx, those 2 little flip packs will take up the same amount of space that this piece will. If you're rocking a Harley, that's a good thing to have. I don't have my screwdriver. I figured I would just show you with this. It's packed away in the bike somewhere, but like a 4-in-1 screwdriver was always great. One where you can like take this piece out and change the tips, where you have Phillips and flathead. That is a great thing to have on the bike. Flashlight, you can get a super small flashlight. It can be a little pen light. It doesn't need to be super bright. It just needs to be a flashlight they can use when it's dark, because you never know when you're going to need one. Just a couple of wrenches. Doesn't have to be anything special. I will say, if you're looking for just picking up a couple wrenches, a 1/2 inch 9/16, maybe a little 7/16, you don't need much, but at least if you're going to grab 2, 1/2 inch and 9/16, that's the ones to rock with. And of course, a pair of pliers. They don't have to be quite this big, but a pair of pliers can be amazing in a bunch of different situations, and you can just pretty much grab anything that you can get a hold of. So a pair of pliers is definitely great. All those couple things you can definitely get under $50. The toolkit can fit in most little bags, and if you do know that person has a bag, you can kind of just think in your head what will fit in there, and a small little toolkit is paramount sometimes. Even if it's not for the person that you got it for, if they're riding with a buddy and they need a little help, I mean, these bikes, they shake loose a little bit. It's great to be able to tighten things up, and if you got to make a little roadside repair, we've all been there. Something as simple as a little screwdriver or a wrench or just a pair of pliers can fix things, because sometimes it's just a simple little fix, but it has to be done to get back on the road. So tools can just be paramount sometimes. But those are the 5 things. I hope you liked it. Comment down below if there's something that you thought I missed out. There's a bunch of different things that you can get for the dyna that are like bike specific or person specific. I tried to make it a little broad, but comment down below if there's something I missed out that you thought would be perfect. Like this video if you don't mind, and if you've made it this far, subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, keep it wretched.